Hello, my name is Omar Rampersad. It's Friday, April 12, 2019 at 3:15 p.m. in Toronto. So I'm going to show you today's sampling of my being tagged. And I was updated. I tweeted a bunch of tweets about being updated outside the window by some movers that came in this morning. They were talking about the change of hands in the monitoring of my account. Somebody else had me. According to these men uh, who were driving the truck and moving the furniture out of the building, um, the account changed hands and it was globally monitored. And a global a globalist is monitoring it, and I'm being monitored on a global basis as as a prostitute, and of course I'm not, and mentally ill, and whatever else I was flagged for. I heard um, spying. There was something new that was mentioned. There was several things that were talked about. So these people, like others do, were carrying on conversations within the group, and this is a topic of conversation. I closed my window, but it didn't help, so it didn't make any difference. But when I started hearing things like Rick raped you, um, then my ears perked up. So that's when I started tweeting. Um, and this is ongoing, of course. I heard that it's the last day of somebody's account today, and that the person ordered me switched, meaning that I was being deliberately triggered. This is what it means to be switched. Triggered to get a reaction, to record, to get another flag. So I tweeted what I heard, basically. I guess that was my the triggering. Um, so um, the uh, the um, the radiation that's used in this program to set you up, to make you react in such a way as to make you look as though you're mentally ill, um, is used if you're globally monitored everywhere you go, anywhere in the country, in the world, in the country and in the world. So I remember years ago. I was in Trinidad, and I was hit with these technologies. I was visiting somebody, and I stayed overnight, and I was hit with these technologies. And there was a noise campaign. This was I was staying with somebody initially, and then this was my base. I wasn't hit there, but this was in somebody else's house, and I didn't get any sleep that night. So deprivation was part of the campaign. Um, so this is global. This is what it means to be global. This is what it means to be a global target. So this morning, I had to tweet what I heard outside the window. This is ongoing. My tweets is proof that this campaign is an ongoing campaign. And, court cases doesn't stop it. Complaints doesn't stop it. Reports to the police doesn't stop it. It just goes on, no matter what. So you got to ask why that is. In order for that to happen, um, it had to be fixed. It had to be a fixed situation. A campaign was fixed, meaning that everybody who's involved um, who are in positions of power to stop it, to do something about it. Um, they're infiltrated, so they're a part of the program, paid off, however that payment, whatever form that payment takes. But they're in on it, so they will not act to stop it. This is what it means to be fixed. This program has to be a fixed program, or else it would not continue. The people who are supposed to stop it is not stopping it. Therefore, it's fixed. So when such a thing happens, then it's fixed across the board. It's fixed on the local level, on the provincial level, and global level, and every part of the legal system, the justice system. They are infiltrated, so it's fixed. If the intention is for you to get into a prison, everything is going to be fixed, so you end up in prison. If the intention is for you to get mentally committed, to be mentally committed, it's going to be fixed in that way, so you'll end up mentally committed. So, and these signals, of course, is part of setting you up covertly, and this is a covert program, so covert ways and means are being used. Signals being one of them, microwave signals, and of course nobody is going to say it's being used. That's part of being fixed. It's fixed. I also did an analysis of the Paul Bernardo's case and the investigation that took place, and how, according to the article that I read, I made an assumption that what I read was a somewhat accurate reflection of reality. If that article was wrong, then I'm wrong. But if the article was right in the way it was written, then there seemed to be a really huge failure in the process of investigation, the diligence that was taken, that was part of that process. So it should have been part of the process, was not there. The willpower to get the crime solved, to catch the person, initially definitely was not there. When there was a lot of rapes and the public was all up in arms about it, then of course there was a lot of pressure put on the police to get the person caught. But this went on for years. Can you imagine? 6 years at least that we know of. And so many victims. And not only victims who were killed, but victims who were tortured beyond the ordinary mind can comprehend. I mean, you'd have to be, these people were mentally insane, obviously. So a normal human mind will not be able to understand how a person can get to that point, because the person obviously crossed the normal limits of what it means to be a human being. So the question needs to be asked, were they experimental subjects? Were they acted upon to cross those lines? Because a lot right now in our world, there is a lot of new technologies that are being used in everyday life for good reasons. Chips in amputees' arms, allowing them freedom of movement. Chips in the brain of paralyzed people that allows a certain amount of independence, movement, and so on. This is the technology being used for the good. The same technology can be used for, to create murderers and rapists. So the question has to be asked, were these people experimented with? Talk to you another time.